Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wiki Sasquatch channel. I am about to get caught up on opening and reviewing all these Masters of the Universe Origins figures and toys. I've been a little bit behind, but I'm going to get caught up here. And if you see anything here that's interesting to you, then check out my other videos and make sure you subscribe. I'll be putting reviews up for all of these. I just did one for Snakeface and the Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Duplico, so you can check that video out now. In this video, we're going to do Spikor and Serpent Claw Man at Arms, and we're going to start off with Squeeze. So here we have the vintage Squeeze. We'll do a comparison of the two. And he's got his pet snake, which is kind of weird that a snake has a pet snake, but it's like seeing Panther riding on Panther, I guess. But anyway, this is the new one, the Origins version. Evil Long-Armed Viper. There he is in the package. Then on the back, we got the artwork here. Squeeze constricts his victims out of their last breath with his enormously elongated arms. Tie up to 3 warriors at the same time. Attach pet snake to the arm. And then there's the other 3 I mentioned, plus the Snake Man Infiltrator, which should be here any day now. It's been shipped, so I should be doing a review for him too soon. And we got Rio Blaster and Extendar there. We've already been told we're getting Extendar, but they hadn't said anything about Rio Blast yet. Maybe we're getting him too. Let's check him out. So there he is. Alright, so there's his pet snake. It's kind of robotic looking. It's got like little armor on the side of his head or something, kind of squared off shape. That's the way the original one looked. So here's the original one. They're pretty much identical, except the original one's a lot shinier. Seems like the original one's a little bit more flexible also. So I think it's a different kind of plastic, but it looks like the same mold pretty much. And the way that works is you just wrap it around his arm there. His hand fell off. Huh. Okay. Now, let's check him out. So he has the bendable arms like the original one does, but in this one, the arms come off and they're not articulated there. I guess it's because it's a different kind of plastic, but they don't have the articulation like the others do where they have the hinge. So you basically can just go up and down with them. And here's the original. So you can tell the texture is a lot different. The original one's very shiny and slick looking, and this one's very scaly looking. And his armor is a little bit more of a violet than a purple than the original. The original's kind of more purple. This is more like a maroon or something like that. Violet. It's got scuff on him right there. Straight out of the box. Let's see, the legs look about the same. Of course, this one has articulated knees and can turn at the ankles. and at the base there, and they are on hinges, where the original one has the plastic or the rubbery barbell band thing, and they're not articulated. The head on the original one just goes back and forth, where this one is on a ball joint. And the biggest difference is in the play features is, like I said, this one's got arms that are detachable. You can swap them out with other snake men or whatever. The original one, the play feature on it was that you could pull it through and make one arm really long and the other one shorter. So that's the difference. The main difference from the original and this one, other than articulation. I like the fact that you could do that, because he could wrap his arm around 5 people at a time. So, or you could just make him look like he had a normal arm. If you want him just kind of hanging out without the long arms, you could kind of wrap this one in the background, just kind of make him look kind of normal. Alright, so I'm going to set him in the back here. Let's see. Put him over here to the side. Alright, so his comic book is called The Fading Fortress. And there it is. I was going to say, does he come with the blueprint one? There's the little schematic for him, showing the removable pieces. And I guess as far as elbow articulation, he's got bendable joints, but his hands actually are plastic hands on the end, so they actually have the hinges that go back and forth. And they have, that one was like barely hanging on when I took him out of the box, but it's okay. I thought it might be messed up, but it was good. Alright, so let's put him over here in the background, and we'll go to the next figure. Let's do Spikor next. I went ahead and pulled out my original Spikor as well, so we can compare. He has a very hard time standing up. I'm probably going to change out the barbell band in him, because he does not want to stand up anymore. Alright, let's open him. Forgot to show y'all what it looked like in the package before I opened it, but I took the mini comic out, but that's what it looks like. And then now the package. Weapons are on the inside. He has a swappable hand. We'll look at that in a minute. Let's look at the back of the card here. Covered head to toe in spikes, the evil blacksmith Spikor crafts much of Skeletor's nefarious arsenal. Then we got that Stondar or Rock-On. I always get mixed up. And then Extendar. Again. When we're getting both of those. I think that's Stondar, because we're getting both of those soon. So, and you can remove his trident hand and attach it to the longer one. He has a trident thing. Now the original one, that was the play gimmick, was that his trident would go up in his arm, so you could extend it and all that stuff. But the only downside for the old one is that it always wanted to be out, unless you held it up straight. And it did not spin at the wrist. His arm was always straight out, so it could go up in there. So there's the cons on that. And so on this one, you can turn it at the wrist. And his arm does always have to look like it's straight out. The downside to that is if you want it to retract it, you actually have to swap it out. for another one. Now the pro on that is that you can have him like that without it falling out if you want to pose him that way. And it rotates and all that. But you have to go through the trouble to swap it out if you want to extend it. And the other thing about this is, you see that curvature there? This is like a flexible plastic, whereas this one was a hard piece of plastic. So this one's already trying to have a little bit of curvature to it out of the box. I'm going to try to heat that up and straighten it out, but you can see it's got some curvature to it there. Now let's look at the figure itself. The flexibility of the original one was a lot softer. The spikes were a lot more flexible than this one, which I'm okay with that. I don't mind it being less flexible. They're getting where they baby us too much anyway for these adult toys. Can't have sharp objects on them or anything. But this one definitely was more kid safe, I would say, because the spikes they feel rubbery almost compared to this one. The original one's also shinier than the new one. Almost like a glossy look compared. You can see the legs and the boots there, how much glossier this one looks. Let's look at the back side. As far as the mold, they look almost identical except for the arm being different. That one's got that straight arm. Face looks pretty close. Eyes look a little different on the new one, but pupils a little smaller. Alright, let's look at the weapon he came with. Alright, same with the weapon. It's a lot glossier looking on the original. And the colors are a little bit different. It's a darker orange on the original. But other than that, they look pretty much identical. I think it's pretty standard for all the figures. It seems like the older ones are slightly different color and a little glossier. And the newer ones a little more matte looking and all that. I guess they don't want people trying to sell the new weapons as originals, so they differentiate, and that's okay with me. They're close enough. I'm not worried about it. And you can take them apart like the other ones and trade him out with stuff. So there he is. Let me show you the schematic real quick. Alright, so there's his schematic. And then he came with the same comic book as Squeeze. And this is also the same comic book that comes with the Serpent Claw Man-at-Arms. So that's what I'm trying to do with all these three together. I don't have the Snake Infiltrator yet, or I would have him in this review also, but I will do him along with some other ones in another video when he arrives. So let's put Spikor back here and go to Serpent Claw Man-at-Arms. So there he is. Snake Hunting Weapons Master. Man-at-Arms crafted the Serpent Claw as a snake capturing weapon to defend against the Snake Men. And he's got a cool looking snake. What's that guy's name? I can't remember his name. He was in the proposed Lady Slither line back in the Classics era. And you had those. That was the three they didn't do, I think, yet. So we're seeing images of them, and there's rumors that we're going to get them, along with High Priest Pythonus, I think is his name. And then you got another one over here with a tail, like Lady Slither. Looks like a camocon top with the Lady Slither body, or tail. So I'm hoping we're going to see that tail come again. That's coming for the Lady Slither. Because the way they did that, I'm not reviewing this one in this video. I'll do a different video for that. But you can put that snake tail on her or have her legs. And that little red thing, there's like her belt thing that makes it attach to female figures. And if you don't put that, it can attach to male figures. So this dude, if he comes out, might have another tail that's red. That'd be cool. Give you some more customizing options and swapping things out. So I'll be doing a Lady Slither video here soon. So check back, subscribe so you can see that when I do it. Let's finish looking at this. Push Serpent Claw over the hand. Adjust position to capture enemies. Okay. And I'll find out the names of those. I can't remember right off. I just saw somebody was talking about that in a video about the ones they hadn't done yet, or it might have been live stream I was watching. But I'll find the names of those and we'll discuss those when we do the Lady Slither review. Because those are some we're probably going to get at some point. I hope. And we may be getting the snake layer too. We don't know yet. They hadn't told us what the fan pole was for that Eternia's Choice pole. Okay, so here he is as he looks when you first open him. And then there's his weapons. Alright, so here you see the new Man-at-Arms. Comes with that mace and the Serpent Claw. So he's basically the same everything as the original Man-at-Arms, except for the coloring, and he comes with this thing, which we'll look at in a minute. So here's the original Man-at-Arms. As you can see, the mold, the armor, everything's pretty much identical. The only difference basically is the color. He's molded in a different color. His cufflinks are actually differentiated by color and not just all one color. The orange dust silver, most of it. A couple of them still actually orange. And he has his Serpent Claw, which is new. That's the main difference. And I believe it goes on something like that. And by the way, there's his schematic. Pretty much the same as the original one. Okay, so set him back here. But this kind of doesn't want to stay on very good, I noticed. But I think it's supposed to go that way. And this part actually can come out. So if you wanted to, you could have it look like he's got this blaster arm thing going on like Trap Jaw. And then when he activates it, it comes out. And this thing also rotates, so you can open it up different ways. At first I thought that was a magnet or something, but then I finally realized it's just a metal piece that puts that together so it can rotate. So that's not actually a magnet. That'd be kind of cool if it has some kind of magnetic feature, but you can't tell a Snake Man with the magnet on it or something to make it work, I guess. Anyway, so there he is. Alright, let's look at this mini comic called The Fading Fortress. It's got Sssqueeze and Serpent Claw Man-at-Arms there, and you got the Snake Man Infiltrator and a bunch of random kind of generic Snake Men here in the background, which is pretty cool. Across a blood-red desert, Man-at-Arms and the brave Eternian Guard Otto find themselves on the unlikeliest assault. Prepare yourself, Otto. 1,000 leagues we've searched. This time we will not miss its time trajectory. At last, the Fading Fortress, a nexus that vanishes then reappears across different dimensions. The Snake Men have ambitions to hijack the fortress and bend the multiverse to their will. Into the breach! But little did our heroes know that the Snake Men weren't the only villains with designs on the Fading Fortress. Ha! The Snake Fools are in over their heads. Spikor, it's your lucky day. You get to prove your worth to me. Take the fortress. Yes, Skeletor. Back in the Fading Fortress, changes are afoot. These walkways are wholly unreliable. How will we manage to cross? Easy. With just a little foresight, bamf, and a little innovation, you can navigate any obstacle. Skyward the heroes climbed until finally reaching the utmost heights of the fortress. A place that offered no respite. The heroes find themselves before Coil, the Queen Basilisk, highly intelligent, extremely deadly, and mother of the Snake Men. Huh. Okay, there's some information. Queen Basilisk. Mother of the Snake Man. Okay. Squeeze. So this is where you've been breeding King Hiss's army. Such are the sights of ambition. Never mistake ambition for evil. Karash. Seize them. Auto defense formation. There is no auto, man-at-arms. You imbecile, I lured you here. You will be the Snake Man's slave. Your knowledge will be ours. Dream on. Thwack, thwack. I like when they have thwack in there. In the adjacent chamber. The navigational systems of the fortress. I will ensure this tower will never be used for evil again. Quickly, the fortress has set course for peril. Oblivion. Spikor, you nincompoop, the fortress is gone. We're too late. You failed me again. Sorry, balls. Alright, so there's that. Well, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you'll subscribe, you can get notifications when I drop new videos with these other things I just showed you that I'm going to be reviewing. And also, I'm not just reviewing the Masters of the Universe. I have a lot of Star Wars Black Series, Star Wars Vintage Collection, Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe Classified, you name it. I got a lot of stuff that I'm about to be reviewing. So I got to get caught up. I'm running out of space. So I got to get these things open, get some boxes broken down. But I also do vintage toy reviews, and I'm about to get heavy into customizing. So there'll be a big portion of this channel that's going to be about customizing action figures and building dioramas and play sets and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get these open so I can kind of focus more on that, and then we can use these figures in the dioramas and the displays and stuff. So that's my goal. That's where I'm trying to get to. So like I say, if you'll subscribe, get notifications when I drop all this stuff. And then I have videos. They're up in the upper right of the review for Duplico and Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface. So you can click on that and see those now. Or you can click on the upper left to see the playlist of all my Masters of the Universe Origins reviews. Or click on the lower left to subscribe. Thanks for watching.